Who's the man with the pugilistic plan? Steve Swift, Steve Swift. Who's the puncher with a chance? Steve Swift, Steve Swift. The boxing news brought to you.
Daniel Dubois was just punching his face. He couldn't see where the punches came from, and that's why he tasted defeat. Whoa, it seemed like Daniel made him look like a piece of meat. Yes, apologies to Elton John. But that was his Daniel, of course. Obviously changed for the Daniel Dubois Spectacular. Another one of Elton John's tracks is I'm Still Standing, but you can't say that about AJ, can you? Yes, I mean, you could laugh. And in fact, I just did on this Steve Swift's Rambling Reviews, the boxing of boxing for Law, live audio wrestling. Live audio wrestling. For the Tidster. The Tidster, yeah, the Tidster. You got to call the Tidster. Or, and, Uncle Brady. Uncle Brady. Little Uncle Brady. Yes, so this will be round 12, I think. Ding, 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 ding. Round 12, which is more rounds than AJ lasted. Yes, I mean, a lot of people have been laughing, and they have been playing that meme of the breakdancer who's on his head trying to get up from that, because that was what, in the 5th round, and it only lasted 5 rounds, or indeed landed 5 rounds, ladies and gentlemen, landed 5 rounds. That is what happened to AJ. He was on his head and couldn't get up. The ring seemed to be moving, so he couldn't really find a purchase to get up. It was a bit of an ignominious situation. Now, this boxing of boxing will be actually a bit about the business of boxing. Oh, the business of boxing. With Steve Swift in his rambling reviews, etc., etc. That sounded a bit like Meatloaf. Ah, baby, we can box all night, unless you're cold, AJ, etc. I know I'm taking the mickey, but let's add this caveat. I'm adding a caveat, folks. It's caveated. And, blimey, I hurt myself a bit there. Keep biting my tongue these days. I must have a big tongue. I must have a fat tongue syndrome. Fat tongue syndrome. Maybe, I don't know. Or maybe my jaw's been a bit misaligned. All those years of boxing, folks. All the years of boxing. Anyway, I must add the caveat that, you know, watching heavyweights fight and watching any boxers fight is dangerous. It's dangerous in that ring. Watching it's not dangerous unless a fight breaks out at ringside or in your house or the bar you're watching it in. But in the ring, it's very dangerous, and people could lose their livelihoods, their health, and indeed their lives. So although we are saying, oh, I'm sharing a meme and all of that, and I'm finding that quite funny. There is a caveat to be made. Of course there is. My beard looks a little bit, I'm not sure, you know, I might need to tend to it a bit. I'm not sure about the shape. Oh, that's better, isn't it? A little bit better anyway. Yeah, I tell you what, Barber left in quite a lot of curliness. He took some volume out of this. He took quite a lot of volume out of this. And left the curliness at the other side. Quite enjoying that. I'm quite enjoying it. I hope it doesn't get too unruly. But not get too unruly, that's all I can say. So, back to the match. There is only this match to talk about this week. What else would you talk about? Now, the business of boxing entwines with the boxing of boxing here, because we have had for many years the feeling that AJ has not been the AJ of old. And what people say is that since the Ruiz fight, where he was put down and beaten, he's not had the confidence. It was knocked out of him. It can happen. I might even go further and say that I think the Klitschko fight was one of the things as well that that really... do you need to clean my ears out? Grow taters in that, couldn't you? Could grow potatoes. Taters in that. A rich growth serum. Anyway, my rich growth serum. Sounds like some kind of mountebank, doesn't it? Or charlatan. Anyway, they'd said that he was a bit gun shy, and I think it might have come from the Klitschko fight. He was knocked down twice, wasn't he? I mean, he won, got the belt, but he was knocked down twice, I think. They both were, weren't they, if I remember rightly? Anyway, most people say it was the Andy Ruiz fight, and of course after that we had the shenanigan of I'm changing coaches, I'm changing trainers, I'll become a boxer puncher, I'm not going to fire people out of there, and there was a general feeling that, well, all this trying to find yourself is probably something to do with, I don't quite know what to do next, or I don't quite want to be smacked around the face repeatedly until I fall to the canvas. You know, oh, that sort of thing, really. And unlike Elton John's track, Saturday Night was not all right. Saturday night's not all right for fighting, particularly when you're AJ. OJ. Not OJ, AJ. That's a different matter entirely. Yes. Saturday, what a fight, Saturday. It was a great fight. And if you're Daniel Dubois. But leading into this, we had all the existential doubt for quite some time, which filled column inches, and I commented on it many times and all of that. About AJ, is he ready? Is he the same fighter he was? Is he a different fighter entirely? Is he ready to even fight? Is he now ready? You know, will he fight again? In the same way, I'm looking down at my notes because I do have some notes. So I need to have a look at another device with my notes on. They're not long notes because not a lot happened, except everything happened. So for ages we had that feeling of, well, will he fight in the same way? Will he actually retire? And then we had the Ngannou fight, in which it's a bit of a false flag, isn't it? Because Tyson Fury didn't take him seriously. He was made to look a bit foolish, in my view. And beard looks a bit too much on one side, doesn't it? To bring it in a bit. That's what I'm talking about. Training it a little. You're supposed to be able to train your hair, aren't you? I mean, the only way to train mine is with a whip and a chair. So people have been saying that the Ngannou fight was something special because AJ mastered him and all of that, and Tyson Fury couldn't. And I think there's some veracity in that. I think that Tyson Fury wasn't ready, but I think he also was humbled, actually. I really do. But I don't think his mind was on it, clearly, and AJ's was. So although it was one of those, well, there's nothing at stake, there was a lot at stake for AJ. And then he continued to pour it on a bit. Did he fight Wally last? And people had said, oh, he's got the old fire back. Because people want to think that. They want to think that. And this is kind of a nothing fight. Once again, Dubois got everything to win, and AJ's got nothing to win. Because he's in a situation where if he beat Dubois on points or in a late round stoppage, people would go, well, it's Dubois. I know he put Usyk down, but that was with a low blow, and it's Dubois. If he lost, on point, people would say, well, I should have put him out of there, should have got him out of there, he's a gun-shy AJ. And if he lost badly, which, folks, spoiler alert, he did, then you might have already gathered that from my singing. You know, Daniel Dubois is just punching his face, etc. If he got beaten that way, then that would be tantamount to the end. of his high aspirations. More of that in a minute. So I saw a little bit of something on YouTube, I think. And if I remember rightly, I remember looking at it thinking, oh. And I think it was in an unguarded moment, AJ talking about whether he would win and how he would win, and talking about, that'll happen, God willing, and not looking as if he was particularly bullish about it. Not like, yeah, we're down in 4, that sort of thing, It was a bit odd, and I thought, I don't know. I was already saying I didn't think that AJ was going to have an easy night of it. I thought that Dubois might put him down. I thought with not a lucky punch, but a punch that reached its target and put him out of there, and perhaps if he hadn't have landed that, he might have lost. But I didn't think it was going to be what it was, which was Daniel Dubois. Look at that. Oh dear. All over the place, aren't I? Daniel Dubois. Look at that fine CD selection and DVD selection. Working my way through them later. Although I've got the McMahon Netflix thing to watch tonight. So it's that night. I don't know when. I could break it. And the touchdown. We'll be posting this, but that's the night it is, folks. So it's a few days since the Dubois and AJ fight, so I've had a little bit of time to contemplate, and I've not changed my view. It was extraordinary for Dubois, and he got onto him straight away. And the frightening thing is, they do say that everybody has a plan until they're punched in the face. That is the case, and often what happens is people then switch to plan B. They either do that or they go into their corner and they say, plan B, mate, get your legs under you and let's go again. Try and come back with something. But it did seem to me as though AJ unravelled, and that is not ideal. We are talking a lot about AJ, and we're bound to, but Dubois was at it, and he was at it immediately in that first round, and he uncorked an overhand right that I have seldom seen in recent years in the heavyweight division in its accuracy. I mean, it was a looping right that caught him flush on the jaw. And I don't know who could have taken that. I really don't. I think that it would have put anyone down, and it did put AJ down. And after that moment, as Eddie Hearn said, things changed, and he was fighting for survival, and that's all that. He kept getting up. Yeah, but you can say that, but, I get knocked down, but I get up again. I'm getting knocked down again. I get knocked down, but I get up again. And the ref is waving it off. There's not much point, is there? Chumbawamba, whatever happened to them? I don't care. So, in the second round, you've got Dubois I'm looking at my notes here, but I do remember he just smacked him about the face so often. I just thought, will anything come back from AJ? It was dangerous immediately. If AJ's doing nothing here, they don't call him Dynamite Dubois for nothing. They really don't. If AJ's not going to establish a jab, try and keep him off, establish some movement, get down and dirty, try and dominate in some way, then he's going to continue just to get hit. And he did. And in that third, he was down again. In the fourth, he was down twice. I thought they were both slips. It looked like a Dubois jab, actually. More like a jab or a straight punch that was akin to a jab, adjacent to a jab. Jab Town welcomes careful drivers in the suburbs of a jab. And I thought they might both have been a slip. But then in that fifth, AJ tried to trade with him a bit. He tried to get some punches. He thought, God, I think he must have thought. I don't know. I wasn't there. I'm not him. I think he thought, I've got to try and get something going. And he did. He did get a couple of punches through. And Dubois hit him with an overhand right, and then hit him with another one, which was a short, chopping shot, which put him down incontrovertibly. and put him out of title contention, in my view. There is Joseph Parker. More of that in a minute. But if you're Dubois, you want Usyk, don't you? And that makes it more difficult, doesn't it? Because what Usyk wants is another Tyson Fury fight. Why would he want to go back to Daniel Dubois, who actually gave him a little bit of trouble? Eventually he didn't, but working the body the way that Dubois did, then he's kind of looking at a bit of trouble, maybe. I think strangely, he would certainly prefer a Tyson Fury fight fiscally, and I think he would prefer a Tyson Fury fight fistally. Fiscally. See, I said fiscally, then I said fistally. See, and I hadn't even prepared it. It just came to me. It's in the noggin. Blooming marvellous. Well, I mean, not marvellous, obviously, but not crap. Well, all right, not the worst thing you've heard. Okay, all right, I admit it. Anyway, I think he would prefer it both ways, because I think he probably will be able to dominate Fury, who's coming to the end of his career. And was very sweet, actually, at the end of the fight. There's a little video of him saying, you taught both of them a lesson, didn't you? Didn't say you taught me a lesson, but you taught both of them a lesson, didn't you? Good man, good man. Wasn't trying to do it to get any attention. Didn't know anybody was around. Really, really lovely, actually. And that's part of Tyson Fury's character. It's beautiful. It can be beautiful. So I think that Usyk would like Fury next. Dubois already said, I should have a rematch with you. I think he's got some point for that. I think it'll be Fury first. And yeah, it's at his feet. And he's already a titleist, isn't he? So, you've got that as well. Whereas Fury isn't. And where AJ can go now, I don't know. Because what you've got to remember is this. What I keep calling him Barry Hearn. It's his dad. Eddie Hearn's got to remember is this. What he's got to think about is this. I'm sure he doesn't need to remember it. He knows it. You need somebody who is not going to make a rather brittle AJ look brittle. You've got to protect him in that way. But it's got to be someone who is still continuing that top line, entertainment and that top line belt chasing. Who is it? It's not the kind of Hellenius and Hrgovic, is it? You wouldn't even put him in with Zhang, would you? You can't put him in with Deontay Wilder. That would be like, the guilt's off the gingerbread. It would be that, wouldn't it? Osoran versus Osoran. Do you know what I mean? I think you might put him in. Could you put him in with Parker? I think that's too dangerous for him as well. It's a conundrum, isn't it? But that's the boxing of boxing, affecting your business of boxing. And I worry about AJ. The way that unravelled for him, I really worry. And if you're not ready, and you're not in it, and you're not ready for it, and you get defeated in that way, I think it's time to look at hanging it up. He doesn't need it. He'll be thinking, I could do another fight to go out a high. But who would you fight? It can't be anybody who's below you. But then who's below you now? Hrgovic? Hellenius? Yeah, but so difficult, isn't it? And when you make the decisions about the boxing of boxing, that affects the business of boxing. I've been saying it for months, and I will continue to say it. Into my next bout, my third. 2 draws, and this could be a no contest. So that's something to look forward to, isn't it? Certainly more than AJ's got to look forward to. And so I face the final. I don't think that's the case yet. I don't think he'll hang up the gloves yet. But you know what? Where's he going to put them next? Ta-ta.
SportCards.com, the best in Canada.
NHL, NBA, NFL, MLB, Pokemon, UFC. RockSolidFanClub.ca gives you full access to Canada's leader in professional wrestling, featuring legends like Mick Foley, modern megastars such as Cody Deaner, and future sensations like Tyler Turva. RockSolidFanClub.ca offers exclusive series, podcasts, live streams, specials, and full events, all for less than $9 a month. Sign up today at RockSolidFanClub.ca, where real fans get it.